Okay, so then we're on the Sea of the shore banks of the Sea of Galilee, in Hebrew, the Kinneret, and then up on the mountain over there is the traditional site where Jesus gave the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew chapter 5, 6, and 7, the greatest sermon ever preached. And in Matthew chapter 5, Jesus said, "Think that not that I have come to destroy the law and the prophets. I have not come to destroy the law, I have come to fulfill it." And there's some Christians today that think, based on that we are still under the law of Moses. Seventh-day Adventists, for example, believe that we are still under the Ten Commandments and the law of Moses. And there's a movement called the Hebrew Roots Movement. They also think that we're still under the law of Moses. However, you have to remember, when Jesus was here, the law of Moses was still in effect. It was still operational. He was under the law of Moses. But when he died on the cross, the law of Moses came to an end. Romans 10:4, the Apostle Paul says, "For Christ is the end of the law to all who believe." And when Jesus said he came to fulfill, once a prophecy is fulfilled, it's no longer in effect. For example, the prophet said that Jesus was born in Bethlehem. He fulfilled that prophecy, so it's no longer in effect. So we are no longer under the law of Moses. And Paul makes that clear in 2 Corinthians chapter 3, when he says that even the laws written on the Ten Commandments, he uses a Greek word katarego, which means have been rendered inoperative. And in Mark chapter 7, Jesus said, "It is not what goes into your mouth that defiles you, it's what comes out of your mouth that defiles you." And then there's a little note there where Mark writes, "By saying this, he made all foods clean." Under the law of Moses, there were a lot of unclean foods that you could not eat. But Jesus made all those foods clean. In the book of Acts, Peter's given a vision of unclean foods, and God says, "Arise, Peter, kill and eat." And Peter says, "I've never eaten anything unclean." And God says to him, "Don't call unclean what I have made clean." And then Hebrews chapter 7 talks about how Jesus was the perfect sacrifice. And in the book of Hebrews, that animal sacrifices could never take away the sin. They could cover the sin for a while, but the perfect sacrifice of Jesus, because of his sacrifice, animal sacrifice is no longer required. In the book of James, it says, "He who breaks one law has broken them all." And scholars like to divide the law into three parts. The civil law, the rules for Israel, the ceremonial laws, which are about the sacrifices, and then laws about kosher, all kinds of different laws, foods you cannot eat. But really the law is taken as a whole. You either take it all or you don't, or none of it. And now that Jesus has come, the law of Moses has been done away. We're under a new law, the law of the Messiah. We're no longer under the law of Moses, we are under the law of the Messiah. And interesting that 9 of the 10 commandments are repeated in the New Testament. The one that's left out is keeping Sabbath. We no longer keep the Sabbath. But because of the Messiah has come, we are no longer under the law of Moses. We are now under the law of the Messiah, Jesus.